So first, you're going to want to make a 4x4 metal foundation square, and after you do that, you're going to start placing walls around it about 6 or 7 high. But before, while that's happening in the background, I just wanted to point out that this design is really good for keeping stegos from being dropped on your base, coming from left, right, any side, just because of the design that I will be showing you later in the video. And this isn't my design at all. Well, I revised this design a lot. I just saw it being used by the YouTuber Nerd Parade. He's really big. He didn't really do a tutorial on it. He kind of just used it in one of his videos. So here I'm showing you how to make it. So that's what your base should look like. And then what you're going to need is a bunch of metal giant hatch frames. I believe that's giant metal hatch frames. Yeah, that's what they're called. So you should be able to place 2 per side. So place those 1 every wall up, and you're kind of just honeycombing it in this in these giant hatch frames, which will be a great place to put turrets and crop plots on later on in the video. So come to the top of the base, and in one of the corners place metal walls about 4 high, depending on how many of these layers you want on top of the base, to prevent people from dropping stegos on top. So after you do that, follow the steps in the video and start wrapping it around like shown here, and then also place it in the middle. So after you do this, I'm going to show you, you're kind of going to, how do I say this, weave it together. You can't place them down on top of each other, so you have to make another layer up and place it like this, so it's kind of like interlining, I don't really know the word, but interlocking, so that when people drop stegos in, it kind of gets stuck in like a web at the top, and then the turrets and plant species can shoot at it, and pretty much you can't really get out of it once you're stuck in it. So here I do another layer. You can do as many layers on top as you want. I only do about 3. I think this is, yeah, 3 layers. And after you make as many layers as you want, start placing walls just on each of the corners, just so that if someone destroys one of the walls, that the whole thing on top doesn't just collapse. So you have to destroy all 4. After you do that, start placing some crop plots on top of the base so that you can have plant species to shoot at the stegos if they are dropped on top. After you do that, I'm going to start placing some large crop plots on the in the middle between the giant hatch frames. This will also leave room for turrets on the corners. So do the same thing on top. Place the, instead of placing it in between the hatch frames, kind of place it right in the middle of each hatch frame, if you know what I mean. And that's what it should look like if you did everything correctly. And then on the sides, put turrets everywhere you can. To be honest, I just placed 1 in between each crop plot, shown here. And I think it's a lot of turrets. If you can see, you could probably even fit more if you wanted. I just put that many, and it has the plant species to back up the turrets, which is great. So this is what it looks like, pretty much finished with all the plant species raised or grown up, and the auto turrets on the base. I didn't finish off all sides just because it would take forever. But you guys get the point. You would just do it on all sides, and this is a really advanced base because of how many resources it's going to take you to build, but it's really effective once you start once you're bigger on a server. So if you guys did find this useful at all, make sure to leave a like and